Hello and welcome to Bend the Ben. Today I will be showing you some very simple crochet. Today I will be showing you a very simple crochet tutorial. But before you crochet, you need to slip knot, which is, a little something something. So first off, for this you will need a crochet hook. I'm using a 6mm. And yarn. I'm using about a worsted weight. In order to do a slip knot, which is essentially the secure of your, in order to do a slip knot, which secures your crochet, what you need to do is you need to hold it with one hand, wrap over it with the other. So, for example, just like this. And you can see that, let's turn it this way. You can see that it has, like, where this is coming from, you do not want to put it like this. And instead, so basically, you do not want to put it you see how it intersects like this? You don't want the intersection to be annulled by putting it where it had previously intersected, because that won't do anything. That will just make your yarn unravel and you have to do it over again. Instead, you have to fold it over so that when you pull it through, you're securing the slip knot. Then it should look a little something like this, where it has. Then you're going to pull it through, which is fairly simple. You just have to put your fingers in, pull it through. I also would prefer doing it with a crochet hook, but you don't have to. And then you pull it through, and then you tighten it up. You can make the end shorter or longer as you wish. Generally I like having a shorter end because it makes it feel more secure to me. And you just have to put it on your crochet hook and tying it up accordingly. Because if you don't tie it up, it can look a little weird. Well, it can look pretty weird, to be honest. But either way, it's just a good thing to do. Now that we have a slip knot on our crochet hook, we need to learn now is how to chain. And for the first chain or two, I like just holding this out of the way. Just makes life a little bit easier. And by the way, my posture and grip and stuff for crochet is a little weird, because you should be able to manage to do it with one, but sometimes I instinctively do it. Because you should be able to instinctively, you should be able to do crochet with one hand, but I instinctively do it with two. So less life. Do either way, whatever way is more comfortable and does not cause you hand cramps. And I'm sorry if you can hear the heater just got turned on. So, there's nothing I can do about that. Okay, next we're practicing the chain. If you want to do it the way I'm doing it, then you will chain 40. In this first, you can see this first little bit here, this little knot, this is not a chain. This is also not a chain. This is just a loop of yarn, but it can become a chain. Okay, so I need you to use yarn over and pull through. Let's do this so you guys can see better. Apologize if it's a little awkward. Now let's do this in a way where, Now let's do this on the other camera. So let's show this to you again. So let's show this chain to you again, where I need you to yarn over. So you can see, this is yarn over, and then apologize if my big hand, I apologize if it gets in the way. Yarn over and pull through. Now we are going to do 40 chains because I think that's a good number. So you just yarn over and pull through. From this point, it will be sped up until I am done with all of the chains. Now that we have finished chaining, make sure to triple check that you have enough chains. I have enough chains. Now what we're going to do, end off this row, is we're going to chain 1. I know you're saying, but that brings our chain count to 41. Well, actually, it does not. I'll show you why. It's because with the next stitch I'm showing you, which is also, well, I suppose, the next continuation of a chain stitch I'll be showing you, you use that stitch as essentially a little buffer, which leads us to getting into our next stitch. What I just did right there is I inserted my hook. Then we're going to yarn over and pull through. So what you need to do is insert your hook. You can see I have a little bit of a color change. Yarn over. Yeah, sometimes you might use your fingers and pull through. Then you just do that until you get approximately to the end of the row. Now that we are at the end of our row, you'll notice that a slip stitch is rolling thin. It's like the same size, if not smaller than a chain stitch. And you know what? That's okay. Now that we're at the end of the row, we're going to avoid the tail, which will get easier the more rows you have. We're going to chain run. Also, as a recommendation, this stitch I just showed you is best for seaming things up, and not so much for actual things like sweaters, garments, or any of that, or anything else you might want to make with crochet. And then the way I'm showing it to you is we're saying the chain represents one stitch. Now we're going to learn the single crochet. For that, we're going to insert our hook, yarn over, and we're going to pull through one loop. So you can see we have 2 loops here. Well, this loop is the yarn over, and this loop is the one we started with. We'll yarn over, pull through again. Let me show you again. So you have to insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through again. This single crochet is probably gonna be one that you use a lot, to be honest. because a lot of patterns require it. If you're interested in making stuffed animals and some garments, blankets. Most people's first blanket is just a single crochet blanket, which is okay. So pretty much this single crochet will essentially teach us how to do essentially the basis of every other crochet stitch. I apologize if you hear any creaking. I unfortunately do not live alone. I do not have that kind of luxury. Okay, now I'm going to come back to you at the end of the row. Now that we are at the end of our third row, which is the slip stitch, single crochet, which is the single crochet stitch, we're just going to chain one. Now we're going to learn the half double crochet, which is yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, then pull through. There you go. There is the half double crochet. Looks like the camera doesn't like us again. And now that we've completed this, you might be thinking, Ben, are we going to chain one again? You're half right. We're supposed to third right in some cases. We're still going to chain. We're just going to chain more than one, depending on your tension. So there we go. Now we need to yarn over, insert the loop, pull one through, then you're pulling the 3 loops through. It feels a little weird at first, but you start to get more used to it. Now once more, we need to yarn over, insert a loop, yarn over, pull through 1 loop, yarn over, pull through 3 loops. Then you continue this till the end of the row, and I'll meet you there. Now that we've completed the half double crochet, you're probably saying, Ben, we're gonna chain one again, right? And you're gonna teach me something new? Well, yeah, right. I'm gonna teach you something new, but we're not gonna chain one. We're gonna chain 2. At least this is the way that my intention works with it. I know for some people, chaining 3 is a must, but whatever works better for you. I say try it the way I do it, and then if it doesn't work, adjust. So what you need to do now is chain 2. And the stitch I will be teaching you now is the double crochet. And as per usual, we are skipping this. These 2 represent the first stitch. And we're going to yarn over, insert our hook, yarn over, then we're pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. There we go. There's the double crochet. Now mine aren't that humongous, so 2 chains works good with this, but I know some people's are really long. So again, we need to yarn over, insert our hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Also, as you can see, we've recently had a color change. Now one more time, yarn over, insert our hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and I will meet you at the end of the row. Now that we're at the end of the row, we're going to do our final stitch. This is the treble crochet stitch. And for that, you need to chain not 1, not 2, not 1, not 2, but 3 times. But then the fun doesn't end yet. As you know, we're going to skip that. We're going to yarn over twice. Yeah, doesn't that sound like a nice beefy stitch? Then, of course, as we do with almost everything, we're going to insert our hook. We're going to yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. Look at that beefy boy. The treble crochet stitch is by far my favorite of the ones that we've covered. I fully intend on making a blanket out of it one day. The treble crochet stitch is good for just about any kind of blanket. It's used in making other stitch patterns and whatnot. Double crochet is also very good. Some people can get it to be very long. Mine aren't not long at all, to be honest. They're very good for, I've seen them used a lot for clothing and blankets and whatnot. But like with all of these stitches, they have a hate-love relationship where some people absolutely love something and another person absolutely despises it. Let's show you this again. Let's show you the treble again. Yarn over twice. You need to insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. Now, for the last time, we yarn over twice, insert a hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. Now, if you just want to make an experimental swatch, you could do the single, double, and single, half double, and treble. You can do the pattern over again, with the exception of the chain, as long as you want it to be, whether it be 3 inches or 3 feet. It's up to you. But I will show you what you do when you get to the end of the row of how you would end a piece. Now, if I, for example, decided, hey, this about 3 inches is good enough, I am done for the day, the swatch is done, what I would do is I would start a slip stitch, and I can see where this is getting pulled. You can see this right here, and then I would cut however long of a tail I wanted using this to pull it, and you can see, and then after you do that, you will tighten it up. Don't have any scissors on me, but you would tighten it up until this essentially, instead of it being a slip stitch or a chain, it just forms a little knot. It's similar to what we did with the chaining.